We welcome you to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's Giants FanFest 2022, the Giants Training Camp Report, presented by Citizens. Bob Papa along with Carl Banks, Sean O'Hara down on the sidelines. A warm day in New Jersey. Temperatures have cooled off. More importantly, though, all those thunderstorms that were predicted did not hit East Rutherford. It's a fun night, Carl, but it's also a chance for these players to practice in a different environment. A lot of energy when you have tens of thousands of fans in the stadium.
Yeah, and look, this is a great turnout for this scrimmage and this fan base, especially some of the, this is a young team. This is the positive energy that they need as well, because it ended on a bad note last year, and this crowd has turned out to cheer this team on. There's a lot of optimism in the building, and this team is coming out to show them that they appreciate and giving them good performances.
Giants are working on a little goal line situation right now. Got first-team offense against first-team defense, and Daniel Jones looking for somebody to uncover and not able to hook up with Colin Johnson. Carl, the Giants are working on a little third down here, trying to get a little continuity. You see Kadarius Toney come in the ball game. Kayvon Thibodeau's coming in, so this is an opportunity to practice at a little bit different pace than maybe even on a daily basis.
Oh, it is, Bob. And just looking at the action, Kayvon Thibodeau on Andrew Thomas gave it his best shot. Thomas showed great feet, took his second move and rode him to the ground. So this is great competition that we're looking at here. Totally different. Free run there by Kayvon Thibodeau.
Hey, listen, in less than a week, the Giants, as Saquon Barkley made the catch, in less than a week, the Giants are going to play their first preseason game against the Patriots and do it for real. So this is a really cool experience. And what about the scene here at MetLife Stadium? A lot of fans got here as soon as the gates opened at 5, a lot of interactive things outside, and really a lot of energy as far as the fans are concerned.
This is so exciting to see all of the fans in the stand. It is a large group of fans here. The lower bowl is almost full, Bob, but just the optimism and the excitement around what's happening now. Just given the fact that last year was such a tough year, and to see this fan turnout, that tells me they are very optimistic about this team.
Kenny Golladay with the catch on a 4th and goal play, and the Giants are going to certainly need Kenny Golladay to step it up this year.
Especially in this part of the field, too, Bob. He gives a big radius, and he can box out the smaller corners, but down in the red area, goal line area, is where he should be money.
6'4", 213 pounds, and it was just an overall rough season last year for Golladay as the ones get subbed out and the twos are going to come in and get an opportunity to work against the Giant defense here. And, listen, you're one play away from being a starter, so these reps just as valuable as Tyrod Taylor is now in for the Giants, their backup quarterback and a seasoned pro.
And the thing is, not only this quarterback, but we saw a rash of injuries across the board on that offensive line. So these guys that are second-team offensive linemen have got to get some very important reps because they could be swing guys right away.
Matt Breida had to carry, one of the new Giants, who I think will bring veteran depth and experience to this Giant running back position.
He will, and again, this is a multifaceted offense. This is not your lineup, run the ball left, run the ball right. There's going to be a lot of motion, and backs with with great skill sets will be counted on to do a lot of different things in this offense.
Oh, Shane Zimenez got some pressure.
A great pass rush there by Zimenez, and contested ball, and the defender comes down with it.
So is it a completed pass to Colin Johnson, or is it an interception?
I call it interception.
Take a look at it again. Colin Johnson reaching up for it. And
ball's moving. Defender takes it out. Call that interception, but that's good effort.
Nice play by Gavin Heslop.
Yep, very good.
There's Brian Dable, the head coach of the New York Giants, and he certainly has brought a lot of energy to the building with the way he goes about his work.
Well, and there's a different level of freedom and independence within the construct that he's built for this team. for instance, you'll hear the wide receivers in interviews say they're not as structured, as robotic, and run this route at this point. It's, hey, get to this point, beat your guy is what he's telling them. So he'll allow them, within the structure of what they need to do, to work to get open.
Tyrod Taylor had a series. Davis Webb now in at quarterback for the Giants. Daniel Jones and the starting offense went against the starting defense. Antonio Williams is the running back. Davis Webb misfires.
Well, that's because there was a missed block up front, and Davis Webb was backpedaling and throwing that fadeaway.
Carter Coughlin was on the coverage for the Giants. Davis Webb broke in with the Giants. Understands this system, having been a part of the Buffalo Bills squad last year.
He's going to be a tremendous help in the quarterback room, along with Tyrod Taylor, to Daniel Jones.
There's a lot of guys that got opportunities last year to play, with the Giants being hit so hard by injury. Giants are hoping that this year it's not just a battle of attrition, but it's guys that make the team and are able to perform as Williams dashes through the line.
Yeah, they've got to add some depth. They've got to add some value to this team, because when you look at it and you say, boy, where's the depth on this team? And then you see a guy like Darius Slayton running with the third team here, who's battling literally to get the coach's attention because he has the speed, but he's got to do it in practice, and there may not even be an opportunity here going with the third team, but he's a guy that's got to add depth and really press to be a starter on this team.
And as I mentioned, Sean O'Hara is down on the sideline paying close attention to really the most important position group for the Giants in 2022. Sean, that offensive line, and that's an area that has to be better for this team to have any chance.
Yeah, Bob, Carl, a lot of excitement and energy here at MetLife Stadium. It's great to see the fans here with the smiles on their faces and their positive attitudes. You mentioned the offensive line, and Carl, you already touched on Andrew Thomas against Kayvon Thibodeau, the fifth overall pick for the Giants this year. It's a great battle. It's a great matchup. I think Andrew Thomas is winning most of those right now, but a good sign for the Giants. John Feliciano back in at center after missing a few days due to some heat issues that he experienced last week. I thought the offensive line did a nice job for the first string offense during that first drive, giving Daniel Jones some time. He had a couple of scrambles, a couple of times we had to run and buy a little extra time, but I thought overall the protection looked really good. Shane Lemieux, there was a couple of one-on-one pass rushes he had with Leonard Williams, who was actually giving him some fits in practice in one-on-ones, and Shane Lemieux more than held his own. I think, Carl, you'll appreciate this. You were talking about the defense and Wink Martindale. What's great about a night like tonight is you could kind of go unscripted, and so now you're getting different defenses, different fronts. There were a couple times tonight that the Giants had some unblocked defenders. Julian Love came in on a blitz on that throw to Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know if Daniel Jones would have gotten the ball off if it was a game, but this offense is getting some great looks as far as blitz pickups. Saquon Barkley had to pick up Blake Martinez on a nice blitz as well. So they're not playing vanilla defenses out here. It's something the Giants definitely need to get better on. And of course, that red zone throw to Kenny Golladay. Great throw by Daniel Jones, and of course, Golladay finishing. That's something the Giants did not do very well last year. It's something they absolutely have to improve on this season.
We've seen the ones go against the ones, the twos against the twos, and now Davis Webb trying to get the Giants into the end zone. And Carl, on a previous play, Doss Keelan on a little whip route dropped what could have been an easy touchdown pass. Slayton not able to reel that one in, but I wouldn't, by any stretch of the imagination, count that as a drop.
Well, it's not a drop, but it's a catch he needs to get practice at making. He was led out of bounds, but I'd like to see him make those difficult catches, even if he's not in bounds, just to develop great habits. And, you know, he's a guy, again, Bob, I like him. I think he can make a big contribution to this offense, but I could like him, and he still doesn't make him, you know, what they need. He's got to show it.
So the defense holds the offense to a field goal attempt. Graham Gano has been absolutely spectacular in his time with the New York Giants as we check in on the sideline with Sean O'Hara.
Let's talk special teams here. Before they did these team drills, they were working on some punt situations, some downing the balls inside the 20. And I tell you, this guy, Jamie Gillen, he's got a special set of skills. He was hitting some balls that have this backspin to them. And no doubt he's learned that, over in Scotland. They call him the Scottish Hammer, but some really unprototypical punts. And down there, as you're trying to down the ball inside the 20, he actually landed one on the 1 yard line, had it on a string, kind of looked like Bob, like your 9-iron. You kind of just drew it back and rolled it back. So no doubt that could be a weapon. As you're trying to pin another team down inside the 5 yard line, that's always the goal. Down here in the wind in MetLife Stadium, we're seeing it affect some of the throws. It's a tough place to kick as well, but Jamie Gillen looks like he's doing a good job.
All right, Sean, I want you to keep your eye on the offensive line here as Daniel Jones and the Giants ones are back out on the field against the first-team Giants defense. Saquon Barkley, number 26 in the game. Jones got a little play action, and he's going to have to check it down because Tony was covered over the middle.
That's a good check down by Daniel Jones. He knew exactly where Barkley was going to be. He pulled it back, dumped it off, positive yards.
Sean, this offensive line, they've upgraded the right guard position. They've upgraded the right tackle position with Evan Neal being drafted. Uncertainty at the left guard spot. Shane Lemieux getting turns right now. What do you think about this group, and especially who's the best candidate for the left guard?
Yeah, great question. I think for this group, I think they're bigger, they're more physical than the group that they had last year. You mentioned Evan Neal at right tackle. He's actually he's going to be working one-on-one right here. It looks like Jihad Ward. And you know what? I like his skill set. I think he's got a lot to learn from a balance standpoint and using his hands. But I feel like Shane Lemieux, I would be shocked if he's not the starting left guard in week one. I think he brings a number of different attributes to this offensive line. He's a great communicator. He did a great job last year, 2 years ago when he filled in, and they had 3 rookies basically playing next to each other. He's shown some versatility and being able to slide in and play center, so he's definitely cerebral. He can handle all of that. But I think he's one of their better pullers. And you always want your left guard to be your more athletic puller because usually you run power football to the right, double team to the right with Glowinski and Evan Neal, and then pull Shane Lemieux. And I think that's one of the things that he does really well.
So you're saying Richie Seubert was one of your most athletic offensive linemen?
He was a high motor guy. He was very athletic. He did have the bad body, though.
Well, on that one, Shane Lemieux just got inside move ripped on him by Leonard Williams, pressuring the quarterback.
Yeah, and Leonard is, I tell you what, I don't think he gets enough credit for how powerful he is and how good he is with his hands. So Leonard Williams, he could be a two-gapper. Carl, not all defensive linemen are built the same. Some guys can handle the two-gap situation. They've got strong enough hands and they've got a strong enough hip and anchor. Not everybody can do that, but Leonard can play both. And I tell you, the other guy that can, you want him to play two-gap, he plays two-gap pretty much every play is Sexy Dexter Lawrence. He's so big, he occupies both gaps.
Yeah, and he looks like he put on about 10 pounds of muscle. There's another Julian Love, blitz and sack.
Kenny Dolladay with the catch. All right, Carl, we got the first-team offense going against the first-team defense here. And I think that's always kind of exciting to watch, these matchups and see what kind of configurations as Saquon Barkley gets a carry. He got hit by Tate Crowder. So 3rd and 13. Everybody was covered. There was pressure on Daniel Jones. Dumps it down to a healthy Saquon Barkley, and the rest, as they say, is history. The Giants get a first down.
Yeah, that's a bit of a slip screen there, Bob. They brought him in the A gap. Saquon just slipped right out in the flat. They got it out of the quarterback's hands, and away he went for the first down. I'm just excited to what I see from this offense as well as this defense. And listen, gone are the days where they're just going to line up and try to pound you. They're going to challenge your defense to match up well with some of the things they're going to do in the passing game, and that will include the running back.
Saquon Barkley got a lot of good work in this evening here at MetLife Stadium. Kadarius Toney with the catch. He's juking and making his moves. He's a guy that really the big question mark about Kadarius Toney is availability. Can they have him on the field on a regular basis?
Boy, and I tell you, and if they can, it's going to be fun to watch him and Wan'Dale Robinson go to work. I mean, if you look at the 3 guys that can really make you miss in spaces, Barkley, Toney, and Robinson, boy, they can do some special things if they're healthy. Well, they can do some creative things. Once the ball's in their hands, we'll see how special it can get.
Rita with a forceful carry. Just a good quality football player that the Giants have added to their roster.
Yeah, and that was good blocking up front, too. Now, keep in mind, that's live blocking up front, and I had whoever that left defensive end was on roller skates there.
Sean, you like what you're seeing down there from the O-line?
Yeah, I definitely like the movement. I think that was O'Shane Jimenez who was over there on that side. And, you mentioned Kadarius Toney. He had just had that little catch, and you could just kind of see, he just can't wait to get free. But he was running a shallow cross, and guess who was covering him? O'Shane Jimenez. And you don't want a linebacker covering Kadarius Toney. That's an absolute mismatch. But that's the kind of things this offense is doing. And those are the type of matchups that you're hoping to get set up. And there you see Toney. How about Kadarius Toney blocking Julian Love in there? So
yeah, I just saw that.
Just dug him out on a little run formation and sprung Saquon on a nice run inside the tackle there.
Yeah, and that's the red area runs, too. That's what you need. You got Toney and Love. And Love's probably thinking Toney's going out for a pass route, and all he needs is to get just enough to break the running back through.
So you got Toney in there. You got Galladay in there. You got Wandale Robinson in right now. So it's...
And Jamil Douglas is in his center for John Feliciano.
Yeah, Galladay's in the slot here. Toney's out wide.
Well, there certainly is versatility. Saquon Barkley on the run.
Nice weak side run right there. Looked like Shane Lemieux blocked down and Jamil Douglas pulled. And that's one of those runs where you run it to the boundary, but you've got a lot of running room because that's your open set. That's your weak side of the formation. So there's a lot of running room, a lot of space to create holes. Good movement by Andrew Thomas.
Galladay. Nice catch working on Aaron Robinson, who the Giants have high expectations for. But this is a guy that really, in this part of the field especially, Carl and Sean. Carl, third downs, red zone, Kenny Galladay has to be a factor.
Got to have it.
Yeah, 100%. He's got a height advantage. He can work both the middle of the field and the sidelines, giving the quarterback a big target.
That was good coverage by Aaron Robinson. Kenny Galladay, just with the strong hands, just pried that ball out of it. Great throw by DJ.
Jones fires one in there to Saquon Barkley between a couple defenders.
Look, I know the quarterback position is probably the most scrutinized position in all of sports, right? And for Daniel Jones, there's a lot of people that have different opinions on him. But the one thing you can say about him, without a doubt, he is accurate.
Yes.
When he steps into the throw, when he has time, he is as accurate as it gets in the NFL. And those type of throws are what you have to have on third down. You've got to be able to put the ball exactly where it needs to be.
Sure.
Daniel Jones, he can do just that. He can spin it.
Jones gets the touchdown. Tight end Andre Miller, a rookie out of Maine, and an undrafted free agent with the touchdown catch. So the starting offense finishes off with a drive. So, good performance here. MetLife Stadium, enthusiastic crowd. Your overall impressions, Carl?
Well, progress. They're making progress, Bob, and that's what you want to see. And they don't look disorganized. Guys look like they know what they're doing, and it's what you want to see from a coach that expects things to go in a crisp manner. Fun
night for Giants fans, the young Giants fans, and the older Giants fans. A lot of fun here at MetLife Stadium during this FanFest 2022. They're going to have some fireworks at the end of the night. Enthusiasm reigning for Coach Dable in his first year as head coach of the Giants. So for Carl Banks, Sean O'Hara, and our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us for the Giants Training Camp Report presented by Citizens.